Did I say something that I wasn't supposed to?
So you basically collect garbage and unwanted items.
Yes, that's basically it.
So you mentioned that you work with your father.
Yes, I do.
So your father also collects garbage and unwanted items.
Yes, he does.
This must be a joke.
What do you mean?
Trouble Busters!
I'm Alan. After graduating from college, I joined my father's company, and I started working for one of the company's group subsidiaries. When I started off, my salary was really low and the hours were long. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm glad that I don't have to work tomorrow.
You work so hard, I admire you for that.
I thought that my father would take it a little easy on me, but apparently not. The work is very strenuous, and on top of that, my father only pays me a minimum salary.
I'm sure that your father's just being strict with you to prepare you for the day that you take over his empire. He treats all his other employees well and pays them decently.
That's totally not fair. And how come he tells you these things and not me?
By the way, I brought over my mother's stew. Would you like me to heat it up for you?
Yes, I love your mother's stew. Helen is my best friend, and I'm lucky because she lives nearby, and we can see each other whenever we want to. So, every night after work, we spend some time together, and she usually brings me something delicious to eat. I've known Helen forever, and we've been best friends since we were children. We're both now in our 30s. Time flies. Working for my father was tough, but I learned the ropes quickly, and I enjoyed being challenged every day. I moved out of my parents' house after graduating college and started to live on my own. I have a serious girlfriend named Sarah whom I've been dating for a year, and I plan to propose to her soon. Having a place of my own is great because I get to spend lots of time alone with her, without worrying about my parents interrupting. Sarah is one of the reasons why I've been working so hard. I want to be good at my job so that when we eventually get married, I can support her financially. I'm determined to make her happy. One night, I asked Sarah out for a romantic date. We went out to a really nice restaurant together. Sarah, if we start living together, I promise that I'll do my share of the chores. You can assign me all the chores that you detest. I was trying to propose to her, but I was so nervous that I kept on saying the wrong things.
Chores?
What I meant to say is that I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I love you. Will you make me the happiest man alive and marry me?
Yes.
After that, Sarah told me that her dream was to get married and stay at home to make the house a happy place for her family. I was elated because I got the girl of my dreams to agree to marry me. I felt like I was living a dream, but it wasn't a dream. I was getting married to my beautiful girlfriend. The next weekend, I drove with Sarah to go meet her parents for the first time. I'm really nervous about meeting your parents. I hope that they like me. I've seen movies where things don't go as planned when meeting the in-laws, so I was a bit worried. My heart was racing, and my stomach was in knots. As these thoughts went through my mind, we arrived in front of Sarah's house. I'm Alan. It's very nice meeting you both.
It's nice to meet you. Welcome to our home.
Come on in. Let's have a drink together.
Things were off to a good start. Sarah's parents seemed really nice.
I like to go to baseball games on the weekends. How do you usually spend your weekends?
I love baseball too.
We should go see a game together.
I love that. Thank you so much. I started to feel a little less nervous. I was glad that we were all getting along.
By the way, what type of work do you do?
Our company provides all kinds of services. We're the one-stop shop that people can rely on. Right now, we're working on a project to collect... As I was explaining the project to Sarah's father, his expression began to change. Did I say something that I wasn't supposed to?
So you basically collect garbage and unwanted items.
Yes, that's basically it.
So you mentioned that you work with your father.
Yes, I do.
So your father also collects garbage and unwanted items.
Yes, he does.
This must be a joke.
What do you mean? Sarah's father got up from his chair and looked like he was about to start yelling at me. The air in the room was now very different. Sarah's father was glaring at me.
I can't let my daughter marry a dustman.
I couldn't believe the words coming out from Sarah's father's mouth. Why would my profession change his attitude?
Sarah, I cannot allow you to marry this man.
I agree with your father. You should reconsider marrying Alan.
I was upset to see that Sarah's mother was taking her husband's side. Only a few minutes ago, they were welcoming me into their home. And now they seem to hate me. Sarah's parents were telling Sarah not to make a decision that she would regret for life.
A dustman reeks of garbage after a long day of work, and the pay is really bad too. You deserve to be with someone better.
The reason why I'm happily married to your father is because he's rich. If we didn't have any money, we wouldn't be a happy family.
If you get married to Alan, you'll be poor for the rest of your life.
I had to say something to defend myself. They had it all wrong. But then I caught Sarah glaring at me.
I agree with my parents. Alan, let's break off the engagement. I can't get married to a dustman.
What?
You deceived me. You didn't tell me the truth about what you do for a living.
Deceive? I did no such thing.
Mom, Dad, thank you for helping me not make the biggest mistake of my life. I won't marry Alan. He's a con artist.
Sarah, why are you doing this? I thought that you loved me. You know what I do for a living. I tell you everything.
I don't remember what you told me before, and you should have told me if getting married to you meant that I was going to be poor.
I'm not poor. Right now, I'm working as a dustman because that's what my company has been outsourced to do. But it's only a project and nothing permanent.
I can't trust anything that you tell me anymore. What would my friends think if they found out I was married to a dustman? How embarrassing for me.
I'm telling you that that is not my only job. Besides, what do you have against dustmen? You should appreciate the work that they do for our community. And I'm not dealing with household refuse, so it doesn't even smell bad. And I shower at work after my work is done, so I'm clean when I get home.
I want to be a housewife when I get married. If you don't earn that much, that means that I have to work too. That's not what I want.
Like I said before, you can be a housewife. I can make enough money for the two of us, and our children if we have any. Money is not an issue here.
I don't believe you.
I tried to tell Sarah and her parents that they had it all wrong, but they wouldn't listen to me. I guarantee you that I can make Sarah happy, and she won't have to worry about money if we get married. Please, believe me.
I don't think you'll be able to do that for Sarah.
Look, my daughter clearly doesn't want to marry you anymore. If you continue to pester her, I'm going to have to report you to the police and tell them that you're stalking her.
That's outrageous.
Now, please, leave our house.
I don't want to see you anymore. Please leave. I had no idea that you were such a con artist.
The three of them kicked me out of their house. What a terrible day this has turned into. Although I didn't want to, I decided to call off my engagement to Sarah. We were no longer on the same page. I was really upset. I had done nothing wrong, yet I was being punished somehow. I could have sued Sarah, but I didn't have the energy to do so. Besides, suing her would cost me too much time and money. After a while, I received a phone call from Sarah's father.
You'd better not sue us. You're the one that deceived us. If you try to take this to court, we'll sue you for fraud.
You're not listening to me. This is a huge misunderstanding.
We have nothing more to say to you.
Please, take a moment to listen.
Don't act like the victim here.
Just listen to what I have to say, okay?
Shut up. We don't want to have anything else to do with you.
After yelling at me without allowing me to explain, Sarah's father hung up the phone on me. I was really angry now. I'd been working really hard up until now to make Sarah happy. I was devastated, but I had to let my parents know that my engagement had been called off. My parents were upset for me, and they were concerned about my well-being. I was having a hard time getting over Sarah, and I was having trouble concentrating at work. My parents invited me to stay with them for a while. They were worried about me. My dad even gave me a month off of work to recover. I was a mess. I stayed locked up in the house all day long. I would either sleep throughout the day or play games. I didn't like myself very much right now.
Alan, you need to stop playing games and get out of the house.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'll try to be productive today.
I understand that Sarah dumping you was a big shock for you, but you need to move on. She wasn't the one for you.
I don't know what to do with my life, Dad.
Let's go out for a drink for a start. I can tell you some funny stories about work to make you happy.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. I was grateful to my dad for supporting me through this, and my mother made me hearty meals every day to cheer me up. I was happy that I had such great parents. And there was one more person that was very concerned about me. My best friend, Helen.
Alan, are you eating properly?
Yes, I am. My mom's been feeding me, so not to worry.
I heard about what happened between you and Sarah. I'm so sorry.
I'm so embarrassed and ashamed.
There's no need for you to be. You did nothing wrong. You worked so hard to impress Sarah, and she doesn't know what she's lost. It's her loss.
Thanks for cheering me up. I already feel a little better.
You'll meet someone wonderful soon, who'll make you even happier than Sarah ever did. And one day you'll be happy that you didn't end up with someone like Sarah.
Helen, how sweet of you to say.
And even if you don't have true love, you'll still have me as your best friend.
Helen blushed after saying that to me.
I'm waiting for a Prince Charming of my own, too.
I was happy to have a friend like Helen. She was making me smile without even trying that hard. Let's see who finds their true love first.
Game on.
I felt like something in the air between us had changed slightly. I felt at ease with Helen, and it even felt a little romantic. Am I starting to develop some new feelings for Helen? It didn't take long for me to realize that I was starting to fall in love with Helen. Because of Helen, I was back to my old self. I was happy and smiling again. 3 years passed. Helen and I were attending a company event together. At the event, we ended up running into some people that we didn't want to see.
I can't believe it. It's Sarah's ex-boyfriend. The one that deceived her about his true identity.
Why was he still saying that after all these years? I despised him. I was mad, but I tried to conceal it by pasting a smile on my face. It's been a while.
What is a poor guy like you doing here?
I hope that you're not stalking me. That would be creepy.
Sarah's family hadn't changed a bit. They were still as mean as I had remembered them to be. If this were a baseball match and I was the umpire, I would dismiss them for bad sportsmanship.
So, I ask again, what are you doing here? You don't belong here.
I think that you should leave.
This is not a place for someone like you to be. This is an event for the upper class like us. The exit is that way. Now go along. Leave.
Sarah's father was trying to kick me out of the venue. Hold on a second. I'm here because I was invited.
What are you saying? You don't deserve to eat the hotel food that they serve here. Go home and eat some ramen noodles.
I don't understand what you're saying, and I'm not going home. Besides, after this event is over, I have a meeting here regarding my upcoming wedding. To that, Sarah's father began to laugh.
You should plan a wedding at a venue that is more in your price range. You won't be able to afford this 5-star hotel.
You never listen, do you? And then, Sarah's father said something terrible to Helen, who was standing behind me.
Are you Alan's fiancée?
Yes, I am.
I feel sorry for you. You're going to have to work really hard for the rest of your life. Your fiancé doesn't have any money.
What's it to you? Besides, Alan is...
Hi, Alan. Nice to see you. I wanted to thank you for all your hard work. Because of you and your father, everyone is really happy.
It was the governor that came up to talk to me. Sarah's family was astonished to see the governor being friendly with me.
Oh, and I also wanted to congratulate you on your engagement. I'm delighted to be a part of your wedding.
Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you on the day of our wedding.
Huh?
Governor, why are you talking to this poor person like you know him?
What are you saying? Alan is next in line to head up the Busters group. Didn't you know that?
The Busters group?
I'm still learning so much from my father. I have big shoes to fill. That's right. I was the son of the CEO of the widely known Busters Group. And Sarah's father was the CEO of a smaller firm that had dealings with Busters Group. Sarah and her family had thrown me out of their house before I had the opportunity to tell them which company I was working for. If only they had listened to what I had to say to them.
Then you were telling the truth about having your wedding here.
Of course it's true. Why would I lie about something like that? Governor, we look forward to the speech that you'll be making at our wedding.
Leave it to me.
A speech?
I thought that you worked as a dustman.
I never said that. You just assumed it when I told you about a project that I had been working on. But I don't care anymore. I've put it behind me.
So you did deceive us.
No, I didn't. I never lied about anything. You just made assumptions about me without getting the full story.
I have a pretty clear picture of the situation now. The rude fiancée that you told me about before is Sarah.
What do you mean by rude fiancé?
What I mean is that you didn't even take the time to get to know Alan before you dumped him like trash. And you said something about Alan being a stalker earlier. Why would you say such a thing?
That's because...
Governor, thank you for your concern, but I'm okay now. I've put it behind me. It's all in the past. In a way, I'm grateful because if Sarah hadn't dumped me, I wouldn't have ended up with Helen. Helen is the one that makes me truly happy. In fact, I'd like to thank Sarah and her family for not taking me seriously.
Now that we know the truth, we apologize for our behavior, Alan.
Me too, I'm sorry about the rude behavior.
Sarah's parents got down onto their knees and begged for my forgiveness. Wait a minute.
We're really sorry. Now that I think about how I treated you, I'm so ashamed.
I was really pissed off about the way they changed their attitudes when they found out about my true identity. So, are you telling me that if I wasn't the son of the CEO of the Busters Group, it would have been okay for you to be rude to me?
That's not what I'm saying.
I'm very angry about the fact that you change your attitude depending on the social status of a person. You're unbelievable!
I'm so sorry. Please, accept my apologies.
Please leave right this minute.
But, Governor...
We don't need you here any longer. We intend on spending the rest of the time here celebrating Alan and Helen's engagement, and you and your family are unwelcome.
Please don't say that. We'd very much like to celebrate Alan and Helen's engagement too.
And I haven't finished enjoying the party food yet. I still want to try out the caviar.
Since you're rich, go buy some on your own and enjoy it at home. Please stop kneeling on the floor. You're in the way of our other guests. We would like for you to leave now. I didn't want to create a commotion at the event, but then something strange happened. Sarah hugged me out of the blue.
Alan, do you still have feelings for me? I never gave you the chance to get over me properly. Maybe we deserve a second chance.
Are you crazy? Sarah was trying to flirt with me, but she was failing big time.
I wouldn't mind getting engaged to you again. What do you say?
I was scared of her. She was acting like a lunatic. She only wanted me for my money. What a bitch! I wasn't going to forgive her or her evil family. Troublebusters! You're delusional! Did you know that? Let me be clear with you.
Are you gonna propose to me again?
She was grossing me out. On what planet would I want to marry someone crazy like her? I'm marrying Helen, not you. Now, could you please leave? You're really starting to freak me out, and everyone else for that matter. I then hugged Helen tightly to show her my affection.
You're a very selfish young lady. You should be congratulating Alan for his happiness after everything that you put him through. Now, please leave before I call the police.
We're very sorry. We'd like to celebrate this happy event with you all.
Sarah's family got down on their knees again to apologize once more. Sarah's father also begged for the forgiveness of the governor. We don't need your apologies. Please leave us alone. Our engagement party is a private event, and you're not invited.
Please, wait.
I'm sick of listening to your stupid excuses. I got the security guards to escort Sarah's family out of the hotel. And I won't forgive the fact that you not only made fun of me, but also my family. We won't be doing any more business with your company. We don't want to work with unreasonable people. It goes against our values.
Please, wait. This is all a big misunderstanding.
I don't think it is. I can see very clearly what kind of a person you really are. We don't want anything to do with you. Now please leave. I don't want to see you or your family ever again.
I understand. You don't need to be friendly with us, but could you please convince your father to continue business with us?
I need to ask you to leave now. I don't have time to deal with you. Sarah and her family finally left us alone. And I told my father about everything that had happened. My father was angry too, but he suggested that we forget about them for the time being and enjoy the engagement party. After Sarah's father's company was no longer able to do business with us, the company went bankrupt. We didn't know at the time, but we found out later that we were the only business partner that the company had. But I guess that it wasn't our problem. Sarah's father should have been more careful with the financials of his company. He even had some personal loans because he needed the money to keep his company afloat. As for Sarah, she was desperate to find a guy to marry, and she went on lots of blind dates. She wanted to find a rich husband that could help pay back her father's debts.
Didn't your father's company go bankrupt?
How did you know about that?
I remember seeing you and your family apologizing to the governor and the family of Buster's group at a party.
I can't marry someone that's poor. My family wouldn't allow it. In the end, Sarah was treated in the same way that she treated me when she thought that I wasn't rich or important enough. I suppose she needed that to learn her lesson. None of the rich guys that she went out on blind dates with wanted to get married to her. So in the end, she wasn't able to find a guy to help out with her parents' debts. Sarah and her family spent their days eating ramen noodles. As for me, I had a bright future ahead of me. I was getting married to Helen. And I was going to work really hard so that I wouldn't let my father down when I take over the company after he retires. Why does my father want to overwork me like this? I need to save some energy for the time that I become the CEO of Buster's group.
Helen, here's some coffee. Maybe you can take a short break?
It was Helen that saved me from my time of despair, and she has been my best friend forever. I'm honored to be marrying her. She's always by my side supporting me, and I love her for that. I'm going to work really hard to make you happy.
Well, don't work too hard. I'm going to make sure that we have a happy home together. I can't wait to meet our baby.
I promised myself that I would do anything to protect and keep my family happy. Trouble Busters!